This is 13th of February, week 2 of Hi-de-Hi. Our objectives this lesson were to understand contextual factors, identify the style and genre of Hi-de-Hi, discuss what musical numbers could be put in, like pop music, not musical theatre numbers, and reflect on understanding. So to start off, we discussed contextual factors in Hi-de-Hi, which are important as you need to know the contextual factors to understand what's going on outside of the play at the time, as it could affect certain characters or could affect what's happening around the characters, if there's like any wars or any crimes going on, what crimes are arising, like theft or like, I don't know, muggings or hate crimes on certain individuals, etc. And the technology they're dealing with, and understand how they live outside of a script. So you're able to build this proper character and have a better understanding of the character and a better understanding of the play and what's going on at the time. So you are actually being the character and extending outside of the script. Things that are happening and are going to be affecting a character. So you need to understand. That not all things are going to affect the character, just certain things. So we started off with historical in the 1950s. The Cold War just started up, but it wasn't affecting Britain or England or anything like that. So it didn't affect us much. And then the most powerful earthquake ever hit in... when was it? That was... oh, I didn't write an exact date. But that happened. And then we went on to social. Holiday camps were big as people didn't make a lot of money. Like, average working class didn't make a lot of money in them days to be able to go to hot places like abroad or anything like that. So holiday camps were big in Britain as they were like close by the seaside and they attracted a lot of families, etc. Holiday camps were big for working class. As I said, smoking was big. Smoking was even encouraged in them days, and there was advertisements to encourage people to smoke. There was lots of stereotypes like rockers. Racism was big. Racism was big. Racism hasn't really changed throughout the years. The NHS, because that started free health service, and security, because people would be able to go out and not lock the doors. They would be able to trust that people wouldn't take anything. Then we moved on to political. There was a Conservative government. Macmillan was PM, was Prime Minister. Technological. TV just turned to colour, it wasn't black and white anymore. Coronation Street started up like the character Ted mentions in the play. How he says Coronation Street wasn't a big thing. Yeah, we know that it is now because it has turned out to be a big thing. There was pirate radio, letters instead of emailing, and letters instead of phone calls because there's no phones, and steam trains. Steam trains were around then because the electric trains hadn't been invented yet, obviously. Moved on to economical. 10 bob note instead of £10, and a wage packet, because your wages usually get paid straight into your bank nowadays instead of cash in hand. So that's not a common thing today, cash in hand. So it was wage packets instead of like banks and all that. But the actual first credit card relating to money was made in 1950, so it was just starting to get technological. Cultural music. Elvis was big then. There was no pop music. It was all slow. There was no such thing as like metal or anything like that. Or there might have been, but it wasn't really well known. Bruce Forsyth had just started up his career. There's a Fez present in the play, which relates to Tommy Cooper being a comedian of that time. He was big, and Tommy Cooper was big then, and that was his iconic feature, a fez, to wear a fez. The genre of the play is sitcom. It's situational comedy, which means that at the start of the play, the character will end up right where they started. So Peggy, for instance, Peggy always wants to be a yellowcoat, and in the play she gets she does get to be at the start of the play she wants to be a yellowcoat. Midway she does get to be a yellowcoat. At the end it gets taken away from her again. That's what makes people watch the programme week in, week out, so it keeps the audience stuck. The style is realism, slapstick comedy, a lot of innuendos, tongue-in-cheek. Music numbers that could be included in the play would obviously be in the 50s, Bill Haley, Elvis, Eric Band and the Animals. Skills I want to develop. I want to be able to do an opposite of character, because that's the point of doing a second play, would be a contrasting character. So in Tomorrow Be Happy I played quite a ditzy, stupid character, and she wasn't very intelligent, and she was extremely dopey. So I'm hoping to be able to play someone who's intelligent, who knows what they're doing, and is completely opposite to my character in Tomorrow Be Happy. I want to be able to use the space correctly and be proactive in the space. Like, even if I'm not doing anything in the space, I still want to feel like I'm acting and feel like a part of it, so I don't feel awkward. So I need to experiment a lot when it comes to it. Things I've learnt today: plot of the play, the characters. Heidi has a lot of slapstick, tongue-in-cheek innuendos, which I didn't think they'd be able to get away with in them days. I think because Heidi High is quite rude, and there is a lot of innuendos in there. I didn't think they'd be able to get away with that. A strength for the session was that I found contextual factors easy, and I stayed on task and I got straight to it. My target for the whole process would be to remain proactive and keep proactive in the sessions. So when it comes to the performance, I've done everything I possibly can. I've experimented. I've worked hard and looked into contextual factors and all that. So that's what we've done today.